We are live here on YouTube. And hi, everybody. Michelle Alcorn here with my mom. We're the Good Witches today. And we are so excited on Atlantic Canada Cooks to be talking about Halloween. And here in North America and in Canada, Halloween's a bit of a big deal. And especially if families have little kids, they get really excited about dressing up in costumes. So you'll see we're witches today, and we're going to make some very fun recipes. And there's many Halloween parties that go on this time of year. And lots of people have fun making the food look a little creepy and scary. So we have our oven on, and we've got a few things going, but we've got our menu here on the back. So we're going to make some deviled eggs, and I love it because they just sound creepy, but our deviled eggs are going to look like eyeballs. And then we're going to have some ghost toast to go under our bloody soup. And actually, Mom, let's get this burner on here going as we're going through the menu. And we're going to make a really great tomato soup. And it's a really fast and easy recipe, very delicious. And we're going to float some little ghosts inside of it. We're also going to make some hot mummy dogs. So mummies that are all wrapped up and have come out of the tomb. And we're going to use some hot dogs. And we're going to wrap those up, and we're going to bake those and make those like some mummies. And then we love pizza. So we're going to make some skull pizzas. And right here on this pan, hopefully you can see the shape here. And we've got some flatbread already cut in the shape of a skull. And Mom and I are going to get these pizzas ready. And these ones are our little ghost toasts. So we're going to get these into the oven here in a few minutes, and we're going to be able to make these fun mini pizzas. So for all of you that are having Halloween celebrations this week, I think it's amazing. We need to do onions, and let's get some olive oil in that pot. They're going to have some parties, and it's really fun to put out tasty food that looks a little unique. So let's get inspired today, and we're sticking with some good healthy meals. So Mom's going to get some olive oil in this pot. And what we're going to do, once that pot gets up to temperature, in this bowl, we're going to get our soup going. So in here, I've taken one medium-sized onion, and I've cut it up because we're going to puree this soup. So it's chunked up, and I have 4 cloves of garlic because we really like garlic. So that's sizzling. So we're going to put those right in. Excellent, Mom. So we're going to cook the onions and the garlic down just a little bit. And then Mom's going to add a can. Careful here. We've just got a can of diced tomatoes, and they're non-salted diced tomatoes. I see more of our guests coming in, and these are what's going to go in to our soup. Hello, Patrina.
Hi. Hi, I've got my daughter with me.
Oh, fantastic. Hi. And look, I've got my mom with me. So welcome. Patrina, tell everybody where you are in the world.
Yeah, so hi, everyone. So I'm in Northern Ireland at the moment, a place called Bangor. We pronounce it different over here, Bangor over there. So yes, I'm by the sea, but not on the Atlantic, I'm afraid, the Irish Sea.
Well, that's great, Patrina. We always ask our guests, unless you want to end up joining me on YouTube a lot, hit that mute button. We do have the chat box open, and we love seeing our guests come in from around the world. And we're all about Halloween. We see Joan coming in from St. John, New Brunswick. And we've got Sammy here in Moncton, but Sammy's from Jordan. course, Jawad from Morocco, and my awesome Aunt Krita from Fredericton. And I'm sure Shinobu will be here from Japan soon. It's Halloween. And instead of carving a pumpkin, I used my squash. So we're going to enjoy this squash later. But Mom's starting on our tomato soup. So she's simmering the onions and the garlic. And Mom, did you put some salt and pepper in there? Yeah. So let's get some salt and pepper in there. And the garlic smells amazing. It's fresh garlic from my garden. So we have lots of garlic here. So there'll be no vampires visiting these witches today, as we keep in our theme. So while Mom's cooking that down, I'm going to get a couple of things ready that are going to go into the oven. And growing up here in Atlantic Canada, we have these containers, and I'm going to show you one. And thank you to Pillsbury. This is a little container, and inside of it is crescent rolls. Well, I'm not going to use these ones right now, but we just opened a container to get some wraps. And these are a pastry. And look at this. They come out in a sheet. And they've got little places here, marks. And I'm going to be able to separate these quite easily. And these are made to wrap around some hot dogs or wieners, depending on the word you would choose to use. So we've got some beef wieners here. And we're going to turn these into mummies. So instead of me just wrapping this sheet around, I've got my kitchen scissors out here. And we're going to cut these, hopefully successfully, into, there we go, those are working perfect, into a few strips. Because what we're going to do is we're going to wrap these around the dogs so they look like a mummy. So they're going to look pretty funny. And as you see, the scissors cut through the dough quite easily. I'm cutting the strips wide enough that they don't break, but slim enough that we can get this wrapped around our, what's going to be a mummy hot dog. So we're going to get these into the oven and let those bake. They're going to bake for about 20 minutes. And they'll be, there we go. So you're going to see all the strips that we have here of the dough. Thank you, Pillsbury. And I'm going to take a dog. And I think Mom's got those onions caramelized. Did you add the tomatoes?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Mom's like, now I need to leave a space so I can put some googly eyes on this mummy. So as you like, have a little fun with this. Get your family and your friends and have some fun with your food and get everybody into the kitchen and making fun things. Now, of course, the mummy doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, he's probably been in the ground for a while. Right? Like the mummies off the Raiders of the Lost Ark or something crazy like that. Halloween is about All Hallows Eve. There we go. I think this guy looks pretty cool. We're going to put him on our pan. And we're going to do 2 of these mummy dogs up. And then I'm going to be having some friends around later today. And we'll do a couple of extra. And you can just do it. It almost looks like a candy cane. But we're going to leave a good place for his face.
It's his bandages.
It's his bandages. Exactly, Mom. And as you see, you're just going to wrap it around. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can use a really small meat. You can use pepperoni sticks. Really have a little fun. And I'm going to make sure there's a place for me to put a funny face on him when he's cooked. So I'm going to get them onto the pan. The other thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to bake some of my pizzas at the same time. And as you see, this container has 4 more sheets. So it's easy for you to use this and a little bit can go a long way. So we're just going to roll that dough back up and put it over here. And as you see, it's just your regular hot dogs with your dough. And then you can use whatever fun dipping sauce. And let's face it, ketchup kind of looks like blood, like on my cake. So we can just dip those into ketchup. I don't think we want to put those on the heat. Set those here. So I put the dogs, the mummies are already on the pan, and we have some of this flatbread dough here, and it's not cooked. So what I'm going to be doing is making our fun pizzas, and we're going to put these into the oven. The pizzas are going to cook, our mummy dogs are going to cook, and our ghost toast are going to be going. And I'm just going to hold up one of these. We've cut them into the shape of little ghosts. So hopefully those bake up nice, and we're going to have some ghost toast to go into our soup. But right now, we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to put some great toppings on our pizza. So I'm just going to hold it this way, and hopefully you can see we've cut these flatbreads into the shape of a skull, but you can use a round flatbread and just put your ingredients in the shape of that. So we're going to use fairly typical pizza ingredients. So Mom, I'm just going to get you to move that fruit out of the way. These are going to be delicious and fun for us to have this afternoon. Well, look, we're going to move our award out of the way, Atlantic Canada Language Academy and Atlantic Canada Cooks that we did from the Chamber of Commerce. I'm also going to put that other dough back in the fridge because we do want to keep that dough refrigerated because we don't want the heat to make the dough rise. So all good pizzas start with some pizza sauce. Today, this smells amazing. I've got a great can, little small can of pizza sauce. So you can buy a good pizza sauce or you can make a good pizza sauce. So we bought a can. So we're going to put a little bit of pizza on the base of our skull. And what's really fun is you can make these into skulls. You can make them into witches. You can do anything that you want. Have a little bit of fun is what we say. And for Halloween or Halloween parties, great ways. I have a really good friend of mine, Wendy. We grew up together and she loves Halloween. And every year they throw these great parties. And I'm telling you, the food is so funny of all the crazy things that they do. And we'll post a few pictures later of some fun things that you'll see people doing. But it's a really big deal in the United States. I think the United States might even celebrate Halloween even a little bit more than Canada. I think the mummy dogs will be good dipped in pizza sauce too. I'm just thinking of this as I'm making them. So we're going to put in the sauce as maybe like the blood that was in the skeleton to begin with. So I've got some turkey pepperoni here. So we're going to put this on here in a minute for eyes. But what I want to do is I want to get some cheese down there because skeletons are white. So we're going to get our cheese down on top of the sauce. And I've got some really finely grated mozzarella. And there's a little bit of cheddar inside of this. And I think when it bakes up, it's going to make our skull look pretty cool. And we'll make sure I get the eyes in the top part of the skull. I'm looking down as I'm doing it to make sure I get my skulls right side up. I've got a whole bunch of little glasses here that are skulls. The dollar stores here in Canada, how much fun are they to go to? There's crazy decorations. Now, trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating is a cool thing. We don't get a lot of kids where my mom and I live because we live a little outside of town. But my brother in Halifax gets almost 300 kids at his door. So the kids go around, put on their costumes, hold out a bag and say trick or treat. Well, my mother likes to say trick. And then the kids aren't quite sure what to say. But she still gives them a treat. So there's an old tale that if you didn't get a treat, the kids would do a trick on you. So we've got our cheese and we've got the sauce on there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to give our skeletons each 2 pepperoni eyes These look cool. And we're going to make these a little bit scary, but a little bit cool. And if you look down, and a lot of this theme comes out of Mexico, where you would see them dressed for the Day of the Dead. And you see them decorate skeletons in different ways. So what we're going to do is we get some great basil here. And we're going to give our skeletons a little basil on the top of their heads. Here we go. It's going to taste good, and it's going to make our skeletons look pretty cool. And so we get a little bit of basil at the top. And then I've got a pepper here somewhere, and I have a feeling, yes, it is. So we're going to take a red pepper, take that, and we're going to use the red pepper to create a mouth for them. And when you cut the bottom of the pepper off, you always end up with this kind of awkward piece. It's going to make a perfect mouth for our skeletons. And then the other thing, we've got some black olives here. We're going to show you. And we're going to give him some really buggy looking eyes with the black olives. Here we go. And now I just need to cut my skeleton mouth in half. And you can use green peppers if you like hot and spicy food. Have some fun. Use some jalapenos and put some crazy looking jalapenos on there. As you like, have fun. It's like, I want to make him, there we go. With not a sad mouth, but a scary mouth.
Yeah.
At first, it looked like my skeleton was smiling. I don't think he's smiling. There we go.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. He looks like he has a mustache. I'm not going to lie. And then we're going to also use, I don't think,
Cheese.
if you decide not to use it, you can eat it. I'm going to give him a nose, and I just need a smaller piece of basil. There we go. And he needs a nose.
Everybody needs a nose.
Everybody needs a nose. There we go. So we're going to get our skeletons in the oven. Have a look at those. And we're going to let those bake up with our ghosts and our mummy dogs. I do have some parchment paper in the bottom of this, hopefully so nothing sticks. But let's get these skeletons cooking. It smells good, Mom. We want to add some nice oregano to that. So the tomato soup is cooking up behind us. She's got it bubbling away. And I've got some really nice oregano here. And I'm just going to put some of that nice fresh oregano into that soup. And then the other thing, oh, watch that stick one. It's a big one. There we go. The other thing that we have that's delicious in the tomato soup. So we've got salt, pepper, garlic, onions, and we've got some more of this beautiful fresh basil. And it's great. Different times of year, you can keep basil in the house. We've got these little plants here. And I've got a little bit bigger plant. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop off some of this nice fresh basil. And I'm leaving the bigger leaves in behind. So I'm going to take the big leaves off and leaving some small ones underneath. So this basil plant, he's going to look like a skeleton when I'm done.
Yeah.
This poor little basil plant had no idea today was his day. You're giving it up for Halloween. But we've left the smaller buds on the bottom of it, and hopefully he's going to come back and he'll grow us some new basil in a few weeks, and we'll be able to enjoy that. Thanks, Mom. So in the soup, for the amount that we're making, I'm going to put about a handful of basil. Here we go. And we've just torn the basil up. It opens up the flavor and it makes it taste amazing. So we're going to pop that in to there. And that should add some nice flavor to that soup. So the soup's not going to take a long time to cook because we cook the onions and everything in advance. So once that simmers maybe a few more minutes, we're going to blend that up. So that's a nice pureed tomato soup. And it's great because our little ghosts are going to end up floating in it. But let's make sure we put a timer on, Mom. And I'm going to put the timer on for 10 minutes so that we can have a check to see how the pizza and our toast ghosts are going. And we're going to be floating those in our soup. So looking forward to that. So let's talk about some eyeballs. All right, I'm going to have Mom come up there. Shinobu coming in from Japan. So we decided that we're going to have some fun. And we've got a slate, a black slate here with all these little spoons lined up. And we've got some eggs here that we've cut in half. They're hard boiled, right? So we're going to turn these into some deviled eggs, but we're going to make them look like eyeballs because we thought that was just going to be a little bit more fun on Halloween. So we've got these, we hard boiled the eggs and made sure the eggs were cold. And then we've cut them in half. So inside of each egg ends up a cup. So we're going to be setting these over here and let's get making the center of our eye, Mom. And we think these eyes need to look a little ghoulish. So we've got this. Would you like a little bit of mayonnaise or mustard?
Mayonnaise.
So deviled eggs. How much do you like deviled eggs, Mom?
I love it, deviled eggs. Made these many times.
So we've taken the hard-boiled yolks out of the middle, and I'm just going to get you to show everybody.
There they are.
There we go.
And I'm just mashing them up.
So we've got a little mayonnaise here. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
There. So what we're going to add to this, because and a lot of the time Mom would use mayonnaise, maybe a few little onions or something. But today we're going to have a little bit of fun with the seasoning. We're going to add a little turmeric in there because turmeric tastes good and it's healthy. And turmeric's going to help the color look a little different. And we've got some really nice red smoked paprika. And again, that adds great flavor. And it's going to make the eggs. There we go. That should be good. And I think a little salt and pepper, Mom.
Yes, please.
We need a little mayonnaise, more mayonnaise in there.
I think so.
It's funny how even a cooked yolk
We'll stuff it up.
ends up a little bit dry
Yeah.
and will absorb the moisturizer.
Yeah.
So we're going to put a little cracked pepper
A little bit of salt.
and a little bit of salt. Eggs always need just a little bit of salt. We think it enhances. Oh, mayonnaise is right here. It enhances the flavor. Good. You want more?
Oh, just a tiny bit.
It's not a perfect measurement. And these
There.
eggs were actually really large
Yeah.
size eggs.
And the yolk is very dry, so.
So we're just, and you can flavor this any way you like. If you really wanted to, you could use some red food coloring and make them really red. But we've got a few other things that we can use here that we're going to have a fun with our eyeballs, egg eyeballs, to have these look a little interesting. Let's just say that. Smells good, Mom.
Oh,
Got a taste. Deviled eggs is something I believe that came over from England. It was just a very popular thing, often made with tea sometimes,
yeah.
not always, or you bring them to, as we say, a pot luck supper, which means you're lucky to see what's going to be in that pot. And I see Shinobu there. We've had a lot of cool potluck dinners at the school. So we've got our eggs here. And as I said, I put them into these little containers, but we'll show you. It's just a half an egg. And of course, where the yolk was, is now we're going to put the yolk back in, really. So I'm going to, there, Mom, that might be helpful. You can hold the cup. We're going to stuff those in. I would keep it a little flat. And then we're going to make these look a little bit like eyes. When I was browsing online at a lot of different options, it was fun because there was lots that use food coloring in different things to make them look like blood or make it look like different pieces. But Mom and I decided today that we're going to use red peppers and olives to make that. Yeah,
Flatter.
yeah. We need to just getting the egg into the middle. There we go. Get those in there. And then we're going to make them. So Mom's put the yolk back inside. So hopefully you can see that. Oh, sliding. Almost lost that one. It was sliding. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this eyeball. I'm going to take some red pepper that I've sliced really thin. And we're going to put that around that yolk. So as you see here, and then I'm going to take, and there we go. We've got a deviled egg eyeball. So we're going to set this here. And it's funny enough, I think I'm going to set a couple this way. Looks good, Mom. Oh, we'll trade her down.
Trade her down.
And we've got a couple of friends visiting today. So it'll be nice. We'll put out a very lovely setup of food and we'll see what their opinion is when they start to see that it's skeletons and eyeballs. But we promise it tastes just as good as it would if we didn't make it a little bit ghoulish. So slice your peppers thin. And then what I'm doing is just sliding the peppers around the yolk. And the red looks really cool. You could use different colors if you want, for sure. And then we'll get another black olive to stick into the middle. And as you see, we will continue to make a few of these eyeballs. We'll get Mom to keep stuffing along here. They're all stuffed fast. So enjoy having a little bit of fun with your food. Sometimes kids might not want to eat certain foods, but when they look like this, maybe they will taste test what those foods look like. I'm having a problem with this one. My blood shot eye doesn't want his blood shot coming out. I want to clean that white up.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. And another olive eye. I'm going to hold the few up that we have. Take these three for a second, Mom. We're going to hold these three up. And you can see how these look. So Mom's going to work on finishing those other three. And hopefully you can have a little fun enjoying some different things for dinner. So I'm going to put these here. And you want to put the peppers on them. There we go. And I just licked my fingers and it tastes delicious, Mom. There. So Mom's going to finish doing the eyes. I think I need to cut her another very thin slice. So just remember when you're slicing your peppers, you want them nice and thin so that you can put those around the eye. Is that enough, Mom?
No, I'm working on one here. Oh, yeah, this is lots.
So there we go. We'll give her one more piece just in case. And a little bit more of that. It seems funny. It's like we're in an operating room and we've got body parts. The other thing that you can just need to check the oven, Mom. Whoa, look at that. I think the ghosts are done. Here we go. We're going to get our toast ghosts out. Wow.
Yeah.
Those are looking beautiful. The skulls are almost done, but our little ghosts are perfect. We're going to pull those off a pan. And they're hot, just saying. We're going to get that pan back in. And our pizzas and our mummies are looking awesome. All right. Few more minutes for those. Wow, so the ghosts only took about 8 minutes. And now we have our little toast ghost. So instead of croutons in your soup, we're just going to have a little bit of fun. And we're going to have these go in. So I'm just going to set my ghosts off to the side so I don't break them. That sounds funny, breaking a ghost. And there's Mom's mixture. It's not as red as we thought. I didn't want to put too much paprika in there because then we might end up having an over seasoned egg just for us to get that color right. But they look super cool. We're going to move this off to the side. So
Here.
they look good, Mom?
Good.
Excellent. So another fun thing to use if you want to get some food coloring when you're cooking is beets. So a nice red beet. It's good because you can take the beet juice and make that end up looking like blood or something gory for your Halloween
I missed a little
treats.
cup.
Oh, I left one of them outside the cup just to be able to see
Oh,
what
okay.
it looked like.
Yeah,
So that's perfect, Mom.
Right.
We'll show those to everybody in a few minutes. The eyeballs are looking very gooey and delicious at the same time. So we want to have a little bit of fun with something on the healthy and sweet side as well. And we're going to make some apple teeth. So this is that afternoon snack or something a little bit healthier. So we've got a green apple here and we've got a red apple. Just going to get a clean knife. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the apple. So we've got a couple of wedges. So I'm going to cut just a chunk of the apple off like this. And now what I want to be able to do is I want some thin wedge slices because these are going to end up the lips on the mouth that's going to have our ghoulish teeth in them. And I'll taste test that last one. Guess what? Apples are a really important part of Atlantic Canada. We just came out of apple season. So many great suppliers. Lots of the orchards have U-pick, so you can get great. These are nice Granny Smith or green apple, which are one of my favorite because they're just a little bit sour. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take 2 of my apple wedges. So I need them in 2 so I can make a couple of different sets. So right now, I got to get my apples lined back up. We're going to make 2 sets. The good news is you can eat the
Lips.
parts you don't need. So I have 2 pieces of apple. I remember I said, I've got all my little skeletons out here with my ingredients in them. And this little skeleton head has some almonds. And they're a sliced almond. So when you're doing this, you just want the thinly sliced almonds. I bought them already sliced. Thank you to Faraz at that Arabia store. Mom and I went in yesterday to get a bunch of our ingredients, and they've got these beautiful pre-sliced almonds already there. But you can use different types of nuts. It depends. I'm dropping my dates, which I now believe look like a bug or a beetle. So I have a laugh at that. Mom will check that oven. And then the other thing that if you want to have a little fun in here, and it's a little harder to see, so I'll take a handful out. These are roasted pumpkin seeds, and they're ready to eat as is. And as you see, these can act like teeth too. So we're going to use some of these and any one of the variety of different things. They smell delicious, Mom.
They look delicious.
So get some peanut butter, some almond butter, cashew butter, whatever your favorite is. I've got our wonderful Nutsmith from Windsor, Nova Scotia here, and we are actually using their cashew butter. But I had a little fun last night and decided I wanted some extra flavors in here. So I mixed the cashew butter up, and I've got some of this emelou. This is from Morocco, and it's a mixture of almond butter, olive oil, and some argan oil and honey. So I mix that with the cashew butter so that I can create just even some extra delicious flavor. So as you see, we've got our peanut butter here, or our cashew butter, and those smell amazing, Mom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the butter just put on, and you want a good layer of your butter. See, get this to stay on the apple. And this is such a healthy snack. Eating apples with different types of almond butter, peanut butter is a perfect snack. So just know that not only this is going to look a little gooey and fun, but it's very healthy. And we love talking about healthy communities, healthy families. So we're going to get, I'm going to get the teeth put in here. I'm going to use the sliced almonds for this one. Here we go. And we're going to have one of his teeth sideways. So there we've got a gooey apple bite, but a great snack. So I'm going to put this one over here with the sliced almonds. And I'm going to do this second one. And I think you can have a lot of fun and have your apples eating anything you would like, really. So we're going to put this out here. And again, we're going to put the second part of the mouth on. But on this one, I'm going to use some of the bigger, darker almonds and give him a little bit different look.
Brown teeth.
Brown teeth. He's been rotting in the earth a little longer, and this set of teeth that's coming out there, those look awesome, Mom. And we're going to put him like one bad one in the middle. So we've got a different level with different nuts in there. I'm going to set these guys down. And you can see the fun. Apple teeth. Now, if they're going to sit for a few minutes before your friends come and anybody's going to eat those, one trick that you can use with your apples is to, before you cut everything, just put a little lime juice on your apples, and it will stop your apples from turning brown. So if you're making this particular recipe and your guests maybe aren't coming over for a couple of hours, just remember to put a little bit of that on your apple before you make your teeth so that those apples have a little bit of that on them. So for this one, we would just make sure that we've got a little bit, and you can just rub a little bit of that on, of the lemon or a lime juice. Really, it's citrus that's going to stop, as we would say, the oxidization. And by the way, it tastes delicious with your apples. So there's no worries there. And you could put jam, a red jam inside, which would make these end up looking like they have blood in their mouth. And for anybody tuning in on YouTube, this is a Halloween episode. So we're taking real food and making it look a little bit scary or disgusting. We'll give this one a whole bunch of crooked teeth. And there we have it. We've got some of our wonderful healthy snacks, and maybe your kids will be more excited to eat some apples and some nut butter when it looks like a skeleton smile. So a few fun things there for sure. How we doing, Mom? Oh my goodness. You've got some mummies sitting over here, right?
Oh,
Okay, this is funny. I turn around and it's like mom's got two mummies sitting over here, ready, just waiting. So these turned out absolutely great. What I want to do, look at that. There's our mummy dogs. They're cooked perfectly. The beef dog is cooked through. They're a nice golden brown. And you'll see the two of them. And I'm just going to put my faces. They baked up pretty good. It almost baked up over where I was going to put his eyes. So having a little fun with this one. And hopefully I can get my ketchup. Oh, there we go. I love that how many sauces, Michelle's losing her hat. Many sauces are already the perfect colors for making things look like the fake blood on my witch's thing. Well, ketchup, right? Ketchup's always going to make that look great. And we're going to be able, I'm going to use a tiny bit of this ketchup. I'm going to put it over here on the side of my dish because I don't want to get too much, but I want to put a couple of eyes on the mummy. And I'm going to, what's that? Yeah, we can absolutely use toothpicks. There's lots of fun things that you can use. Some toothpicks for that way they'll stay stuck where we want them to. You just want to warn your friends when they're eating what you're serving them that there might be a toothpick in there. So nobody ends up hurting themselves, shall we say. So I'm just going to break the toothpick in half so that I can stick it through the dog. And we're going to put his eyes on. And I'm going to have those black olives again serve as my mummy's eyes. He's going to have some big eyes.
don't they all?
I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of mummies lately. Now how big their eyes are. Okay. And we'll get this one in here. The hot dogs are hot. That's a good thing.
It is.
They smell delicious. Here we go. So what I have done is I put the two toothpicks and see this one? He's already got his eyes. So let me put these two eyes on this one. And you could use peppers. You could make red eyes. Really have a little bit of fun. And use whatever you like. These are actually, I'm going to make this guy stand up. There we go.
Get an orange pepper.
There's their mummy. And we can put that in there. Separate his eyes a little bit. And there's our fun mummy dogs. We'll set those down on the plate. And if I just put a little ketchup strategically positioned, it can look like the mummy has a little blood on him. But there we go. We've got our mummy dogs. Hopefully you can see those really good against that white plate. We'll put some pictures out there. Those are delicious fun. And your guests, and especially if you have kids coming over, they're going to very much enjoy. Put out some piles of ketchup. These would be great in our pizza sauce. Anything that you want to do with your mummy dogs. I'm going to set these aside. Mom, we're going to get that soup done up. So we're going to finish off with our ghosts. But Mom, do you want to show off our pizzas? And I am going to make a little noise in the background to get our soup where we need it to be as we wrap up this episode. But I'm going to come around and let Mom show you the pizzas. They look great, Mom.
Don't everybody get scared at once.
Yes.
Look at that. Look how all the cheese melted and the peppers melted or got all squished up. And they look delicious.
Like a thin crust.
Oh, it's a thin crust. It looks gorgeous. Plus, they smell delicious too. I think, you can put everything you wanted on it. Fix it up the way you like it. Green peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers. Anyway, Can't wait to bite into one of those. I'm sure they won't bite back. They're making some soup back there.
There we go. We'll bring that right out. Mom, pizza's one of your favorite. Do you think
I
these are
do.
gonna be
I would, yeah. I can't wait to bite into one. Yeah,
all right?
looks delicious.
And here we go. They smell great.
Yes, they do.
And you know what we always say? When you put good ingredients in, right, you're gonna have good results. So we're gonna take our tomato soup, which smells amazing. And I've just used a hand blender to puree this up so that it's gonna be a really nice consistency. There we go. Yep, look. This is what we wanted it to look like, was splattered. So we're putting it in a wide bowl. I poured it so they're splattered around the edge. And we're gonna finish this off with our little ghost graveyard of our ghost toast, where they kind of look like tombstones in a graveyard. But there we go. You've got your ghost toast on the side of the plate. We'll spin that around. So when you're eating your beautiful bowl of soup, you can scoop it up with one of your ghost toast. And if we really wanted to, we could take a little bit and put little eyes on the ghost. And you could use a little bit of, actually you could stick a couple of olives on there again. We could cut these olives up really small, but I think their eyes are going to roll off if we do, but just for fun. It can also look like tombstones in a graveyard. Oh, there we go. I think I just gave this ghost 3 eyes. We're going to get them on there and we'll get a picture. There we go. Oh, well, that little ghost lost his eye. Maybe a little butter would stick the eyes on them. There, now you can actually see the ghosts on the side of the plate. Right? But that could work.
Oh, yeah.
We
that
could
looks
use
cute.
a little bit of butter or something, but maybe the butter would also melt. But that's going to be a great bowl of soup. And we've got our ghost toast. If you're not going to put your ghost toast in your soup, no worries. We'll set this over here because you can take these and just serve them as wonderful little crackers. And Mom, where's the, can you give me the egg mixture? We're gonna end on one fast right over here. So a really great thing you can do, because remember, we baked these using the dough, so they're already in the shape. We've cut the bottom of them. And I'm just going to take, because this works like a little bit of glue, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this is another great, because it's a cracker. Really what we've made is like little crackers. So we're going to use some of that egg. And I've got my tiny little olive here. When you're cutting black olives up very tiny, it's a delicate thing. And there we go. Oh, and I lost another eyeball. There we go. And you've got wonderful little ghost toast that you can use these as crackers and put a whole stack of those out. And you can use whatever you want to put on it. But we took some of that beautiful mixture that goes inside. And I'm sure that he's going to be delicious, Mom, if you would like to taste the ghost. We'll give Mom a ghost taste tester.
Oh, my God.
That just sounds fun. And as you see, we're just going to take a little bit and put it around the top of the ghost. And because the egg yolk is sticky, so this works out really fantastic.
Delicious.
And delicious,
Mm.
right? Should be. My mother has been making deviled eggs for a long time,
Oh,
and they're devilishly delicious, as we like to say. So we're going to wrap up our Halloween episode here. Because we're eating the product as we go, we're going to do one more ghost toast cracker. So cut your vegetables up, use different things. You know, you can use strawberries. We can take one of these nice slices of strawberry. Let's get our mouth back. And we're going to have one of them sticking his tongue out. So here we go, Mom. Look, that little apple's now sticking his tongue out. So have a little fun. Use your different things. Look, we can put the ghost in with the mouth in here. So the ghost is going to hang out with there. We're going to grab our pizzas and our mummies and our eyeballs. There we go. Look at this. We want to say from Atlantic Canada Cooks, thank you so much for coming in each week to enjoy some cooking with my mom and I. We hope it inspires you to take your traditional recipes and turn them into a little something fun in your kitchen with your friends and family. And we hope that you have a very happy and safe Halloween here across North America. And we will be seeing you next Sunday with some great new recipes. And then on November 10th, we're going to be live at the Bucktouche Farmers Market here in New Brunswick. This will be our 4th year doing it for the Zero Waste Summit. And we're going to have Louise from Deli Sir Canada cooking with us. So we're pretty excited. Stay tuned. Follow along our YouTube channel. Woo!
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. And have some ghostly fun this Halloween here. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.